So here, fixation can lead to dependency or preoccupation with oral acquisitions. Alright, just use your imagination to think about those things. Now let's go more specifically into this. So again, the erogenous zone is the mouth. The gratifying activities are nursing or eating. This also includes sucking, gumming, biting, and swallowing. And interaction with the environment. Here, to the infant, the mother's breast is not only the source of food and drink, but also represents her love, because the child's personality is controlled by the id, and therefore demands immediate gratification. Responsive nurturing is key. Both insufficient and forceful feeding can result in fixation at this stage. So what might happen, or what might someone's personality be like if they were fixated at the oral stage? Well, here's some symptoms of an oral fixation. Smoking, chewing on gum, pens, or pencils. I see a lot of students do that in class. Nail biting, that happens typically before an exam. Overeating, drinking, and sarcasm even. The biting personality and verbal hostility. Alright, now we move into the anal stage. The theme here is that the child really receives pleasure from eliminating bodily waste. So the conflict is that the child has to be toilet trained. And here, a fixation at the anal stage could be a preoccupation with neatness, or, on the other hand, excessive bathroom humor. And there's two different personality characteristics, the anal retentive and the anal expulsive personalities. So here, the erogenous zone is the anus. The gratifying activities are bowel movements and or the withholding of bowel movements. And the interactions with the environment here, again, the major event is toilet training. And the child is taught when and where and how that is appropriate, determined by each society. And children start to notice the pleasure or displeasure associated with bowel movements with their parents. So they also discover that in the process of toilet training, they have ability to control that. And this comes along with the realization that they have power over their parents, either by retention or expulsion, you know what. And so a child can either grant or resist his parents' wishes and either go to the bathroom when they say to or when they're not supposed to, or they can even withhold going to the bathroom. And here's the two personality types of an individual that's fixated or regressed to the anal stage. The anal expulsive personality, if the parents are too lenient and fail to instill the society's rules about bowel movement control. Again, remember, this is Freud's idea, it's not mine. The child will derive pleasure and success from expulsion. Individuals with a fixation on this form of gratification are sloppy, disorganized, reckless, careless, and defiant. Now, the opposite is the anal retentive personality. If a child receives excessive pressure and punishment from parents during toilet training, they will experience anxiety over going to the bathroom and take pleasure in being able to withhold such functions. Individuals who fail to progress past this stage are obsessively clean and orderly and intolerant of those who aren't. They may also be very careful, stingy, withholding, obstinate, meticulous, conforming, and passive-aggressive. So that these two are very good examples of how fixation or regression at a psychosexual stage can impact a personality. And here you have two different divergent paths. The next stage is the phallic stage. The phallic stage, here the child derives pleasure through the genitals. And actually, I mean, if you see little kids at this stage, this is from 4 to 5 years old, it's inevitable that little boys at this age have like their hands in their pants. It's kind of funny. So maybe Freud saw that and it led to the development of this theory. And here we have the Oedipus Complex and the Electric Complex. You probably remember those. And so here, the Oedipus Complex is a boy's desire for his mother, and he fears castration anxiety. He fears castration, which produces anxiety, and the girl suffers from penis envy. Now, these two things were very, very controversial and still are today, and ultimately kind of led to the split between Freud and some of his followers. So the conflict here is overt sexual behavior that is socially unacceptable, and fixation here can result in vanity, narcissism, or an inability to love. So here you have the erogenous zone, and the focus is the genitals. The gratifying activities include masturbation and genital fondling. And this is not like adult style, so don't freak out about that. And again, these are Freud's ideas, not mine. And here, the interaction with the environment, this is a very challenging stage in a person's psychosexual development. The key event at this stage is the child's feelings of attraction toward the parent and the opposite sex, together with envy and fear of the same-sex parent. So the Oedipus Complex was named after a young man in Greek mythology who fell in love with his mother and killed his father, but he was unaware of their true identity. So look that up. Now, in the midst of the Oedipus Complex, boys experience what Freud calls castration anxiety, which comes from the fear of punishment from their fathers because of their relationship with their mothers. And now, actually, think about Freud's own childhood. Remember, he had that very, very, very close relationship with his mother, and then kind of a strained relationship with his father. Now, girls in the electric complex involves a concept that Freud called penis envy. And that, according to Freud, is that the girl believes that she once had a penis, but that it was removed. So, I can't even imagine what your thoughts are on that. At that point, most students freak out. Okay, so you have fixation at this stage. For men, fixation here would result in anxiety and guilty feelings about sex, fear of castration in adulthood, and a narcissistic personality disorder, or narcissistic personality, which is like very low self-esteem, but extreme compensatory measures that represent themselves in grandiosity. For women, and this is really controversial and people freaked out, so freak out at home. Freud said that women may never actually progress past this stage and will always maintain a sense of envy and inferiority, although he didn't really say anything regarding possible fixations resulting from the stage. And he did say that he was uncertain about this concept of penis envy. So, also I want you to put into context the time, the era in which Freud came up with these theories, and it was probably not the best times for women's rights at that time.